Watch everyone and welcome back to the Zeusdaz Unemulated Retro Game Channel. I am your host Zeus and it is shit game time once again, and this time we've got a Commodore 64 game, and unless you were looking at the writing at the bottom and unless you don't know this tune, Magical Sound Shower, you know, where have you been living under a rock for decades? I mean, this is one of the most famous driving naughty slash racing, because some people get upset when you call this game a racer, is Outrun, the Commodore 64 version. There's actually two versions of this, but we're concentrating on the UK version. Let's have a look, let's see what the information is about this. Released by US Gold, at least it isn't by Tiertex. Yes, developed by Amazing Products, coded by Martin Webb, graphics by Dennis Webb, guessing our brothers then. Music by Jason Brook. And the price tag for this was £10 back in the day for tape, 12 quid for the disc, and then a few years later it came out on a budget for £2.99. That's about it really, that's all I can say. Let's get on with it. Obviously, who was it requested by? YouTuber Tower Bridge. Hello mate. Oh no, that's sorry, I've got that completely wrong. I do apologise because I've got so many shit game times in the list. I've got a list here and I've skipped one. I do apologise. It is Northlander, YouTuber Northlander. So sorry guys about that little mix up, but there we go. I'm not perfect. There we go. See some of the edits I have to do before I get these videos out. Some of the dreadful bloody cuts I've got to do. Anyway, mistakes, warts and all. So yes, Northlander wants me to place this into the vault of shitness, and let's talk about it while we get going. Okay, so again, a case of horrible stripy road, and if you know what I'm talking about, go and check out Wek Le Mans for the Commodore 64. Now, is this really shit? Well, there's obviously issues with it. However, I have to say it's one of those rare occasions where a racing game is better on the Commodore 64. So already I'm saying this isn't a bad game, because if you look at the ZX Spectrum 128K version, which was okay, and then look at the Amstrad version, which hardly moved at all, this is by far the better version. And there is an American version as well with just slight differences. The car has been redrawn differently on that version. Oh dear, and there's a few extra bits and pieces on the sides of the roads, and there's also a map as well. So there's a few subtle changes, but there's not much difference in the gameplay. Again, it does still have the stripy horrible road, which looks cheap to me. The other downfall of this game is you don't get any forks off the roads at the end. You can't choose your route. You have to do that with a menu at the beginning if you have the disc version, which is far easier than that is awful lime green, which is a lot easier than the tape version, because with the tape version you literally have to keep an eye on the tape counter. That's not really good either, but this moves a damn sight faster than the Amstrad, no doubt about that. Well, I'm sorry, but a snail that's been in a disastrous motor car accident whilst trying to carry shopping is faster than that version. Get out of my way, you little git. Oh, come on, that's it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. That's it, past that. Come on, get past that. Yeah, so you literally have to choose at the beginning on this version 1 to 5 what course you want to do. So you don't have a choice as far as the roads forking off at the end. I'm not playing with a very responsible joystick here, so I don't know how far I'm going to get on with this. Playing one of my knackered-ish Quickshot 2s. Oh, blimey! Yeah, Quickshot 2s, the one without the micro switches. Game over, didn't you get past bloody stage 2? That was awful. Right, let's try again, shall we? Let's face it, the reason that most people bought this game was because and that's also the American version apparently I think has a... Oh no, I think in the Mega Drive version it has an extra soundtrack. So there's only 2 tunes in this, well there's 3 in the arcade. Let's go for Splash Road this time. Yeah. I mean, the Commodore 64 was riddled with terrible driving racing games. Terrible. WEC Le Mans, Enduro Racer, Super Hang-On, just to name a few. I mean, there's some good ones like Stunt Car Racer, Buggy Boy, but most of the driving racing games on Commodore 64 were dreadful compared to the Spectrum and Amstrad version, especially the Spectrum version. Enduro Racer on the Spectrum was phenomenal. And of course Chase HQ, whatever category you want to put that under, awful on the Commodore 64. Whoa! Oh! I like the fact that you can see the road through the glass. That's quite a nice addition there. So the car's drawn quite well, actually, I have to say. Oh dear. Right, go, go, go. Running out of time. Running out of time. Oh, this is terrible. I should have put my other joystick in. We're not going to see much of this game, are we? Come on. So yes, load the disc version in and you select what there, 1 to 5, what course you want to do. Now, like I said, this moves a lot faster than the other 8 bits. So, is it really shit? Let's have the sound off this time. Go. But I absolutely detest that cheap grey stripe effect. It's awful. You see it in so many Commodore 64 racing games. You really do. I hate it. It looks just nasty, cheap and lazy. Oh. But yeah, it's by far the best version out of the other 8 bits. And as I said, it's not often you can say that with a 8-bit racer. Go. It automatically shifts down a gear as well when you go too slow, but it doesn't shift back up, so it can catch you out sometimes. Right, so we got a little bit of oh that's ridiculous. Yeah, I would have seriously crashed and burned there. Would have lost the game, and I'm probably gonna now because I've crashed like that. You get the time counter is very tight as well. I mean, I'd be lucky to get past this stage, and I did just, but I think that's it. I'm not going to get past this stage. What I might do is briefly load in the next set of levels, or pick a random set of levels, just to see what stage 2 is like of something. I can't see me getting any further than that. I mean, I've got to the very end of stage 5, but that's with my working joystick. But this one, this joystick I'm using is very worn. Get out of my way. See, it's shifted down again. I don't like the idea of that, doing that. Whoa. But yeah, oh, that's horrible green to choose, isn't it? I mean, you could have had a more darker, easier on the eyes green, not this bright lime green. That's terrible. Yes, the American version has a few little additions. As I said, it has a map after you've died, which this version doesn't. Game over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quit this for a minute, and we're going to load in another course just to see what stage 2 is like. But I think we already get the idea of what this is going to be. So let's check that out now. Give me 1 second. It'll be a couple of minutes for me, but a second for you, gals and guys. Right, so I've chosen route 4 this time. Let's give that a go. Let's go back to the magical sound shower, shall we? Right, got to get past stage 1 though, obviously, to see what the next stage is like. No doubt in my mind it's going to be a stripy road again. Little crowd buzzing on the left hand side there. See, that's not too bad. It's definitely good sense of speed, even though it looks a little bit empty. Yeah. can I really call this shit? I mean, let's face it, I was saying earlier, we only bought the game because it came with the arcade soundtrack. That's the only reason we bought it. We were duped, conned. The game was sold on the back of the soundtrack alone, so we just cough up a shitty conversion, which is what US Gold did. Come on. Oh. There we go. Stage. Oh, there we go. Grey Road. Oh, it hasn't got stripes. Oh, that's stage 2, isn't it? At the arcade, the old rocks. And the music, a pretty good rendition, really. Could we have expected more from the Commodore 64 with a game like Outrun? I don't know. Possibly. But, yeah, I mean, how many of us play any of these home ports now? I mean, most of us, I assume most of you out there, gamers, can load up MAME and play the real deal. That's what I do once in a while, because you can't be the real deal. It never came out on any console virtually arcade perfect until the Sega Saturn came along. Yeah, I've never been able to... Oh, we got to third stage. Well, here we go with the stripes again. So this is the Alps level, which is level 3, actually, yes, in the arcade. It's the middle road, I think. Oh, I'll close straight into that. Yeah, I don't know about... Oh, blimey. I hate that stripe effect, though. It's awful. Absolutely awful. Get out of my way. Right, come on, you lot. You know, some of the aerials, are they? It looks like they're flipping me off. It looks like they're all sticking their middle finger up out the window. If you look carefully, it really does look like that. It looks like they're literally going, "Fuck you," as they go past. I don't think we're going to get to the next stage, are we? No. Not enough time. No, game over. Did much better that time. Right, what have we got here then? No, end. Let's do that. Let's end it there again. What should I do? Should I load up one of the other courses, do you think? Just one more? Yeah, why not? Let's give it a go. Give me a second. Right then, Magical Sound Show again. Why not? Right, let's see what stage 2 of this is. I've picked Route 5 this time. Yeah, I think one of the disappointing things for the Commodore 64 owners about this game is you definitely can't choose, the road doesn't fork off at the end, which was part of the fun of the arcade. You can choose your route, whereas now you just have to press the button on the keyboard, which takes away some of the enjoyment, doesn't it? But nonetheless, it moves very fast. Gotta give it that. Can I really call this a shit game, Northlander? I mean, really. I mean, it definitely belongs in the shit game section, but not a high rating. It is a high asking price, but it was definitely sold on the back of a fantastic game and the soundtrack. Most kids bought this for the soundtrack, that's all there is to it. But if it was a shit game, bung the arcade soundtrack in it, that'll sell them. So I really don't know. I mean, I definitely, if I was a Commodore owner, 64 owner back in the day, I think I'd be quite pleased. Oh, it's a boring grey road again. What's that stage again? That's not very interesting, is it? Come on, whoa, get on that road. God, how are you supposed to pass that? There's a bloody wall of cars there. I couldn't have passed that if I tried. Ugh. Oh no, don't crash into the wall. Don't crash into the wall. No turn. Keep going. Go on, go on. Speed up. Slow, slow. Yeah, I can't give this a high rating. Northlander, I just can't. It's oh, the green again. Ugh. Well, maybe I can, just for the backgrounds and road surfaces alone. I mean, why would the road be green? Bloody horrible. Oh, that's the seaside, isn't it? A few. Oh, well, we got a flip that time. And they do crash into the car. Okay, she's blaming him. Why didn't you fucking drive then? You can't even reverse into the bloody parking spot at the Tesco's. You got a cheek to have a go at me. Last time you got there, you took this bloody wing off. Cost me a fortune, insurance. Alright. Yeah, this looks like stage 4 of the arcade. Because I remember those seaside huts. Yeah, you gotta be careful. It decides to shift itself down the gear. Sometimes you don't realise. 2 seconds, 1 second, game over. Yeah, that'll do, I think, mate. I think we've seen enough. So that's the UK release of Outrun on the Commodore 64. What do I think of it? I think it's overpriced. It's definitely the best version out of the 8-bits. I can't believe I'm saying that. I cannot believe I've actually found a racing game that is better than the other 8-bits. Where, like I said, you've got Super Hang-On, Enduro Racer, Chase HQ, there's others on the top of my head I can't really. Wreck Le Mans. They're utterly shite on the Commodore 64, where they're brilliant on the Spectrum. Whereas this time it's the other way around. Yeah, there's ups and downs of it. I said the US version might be a tad little bit better because it's got an end screen. You know, it shows you the map at the end where you've got to. A few little bit more obstacles. I think the car's been redesigned, but the car's nice in this. Actually, it's drawn very well. And the soundtrack, the music's pretty good too. You know what? I can't. I mean, I am going to rate it, but I can't give it a high rating because it is naff, but it's not diarrhea shits, is it? So I'm sorry, Northlander, but I'm going to give this a. I'm going to give that, considering it's a huge arcade game, very powerful to fit in a Commodore 64, and they've done quite a good job, really. I'm just going to give that. I'm going to give that 50 shits on the shitometer. 50 shits for Outrun, UK version on the Commodore 64. I think that's fair. It's not really crap and it's not really good either. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, there you go. Oh, Turbo Outrun, of course. That was pretty good on the Commodore 64 too, as well. So the Outrun games are the two main Outrun games were the best on the Commodore 64. But majority of racing games are absolutely shit on it. Take a look at Hard Driving. That's on my shit game time. Well, enough said about that. Right, let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with me. Whatever, that's democracy for you, isn't it? Let me know what you think of this game, and do you enjoy it back in the day, or did you hate it? Love reading your comments. Please keep those shit game time requests coming through. I've got them down quite a bit now, so now you can get them in quite quickly. So please bring them forward. It's you guys and girls that keeps this series going. If you prefer to pay other than a different way to PayPal, then just drop me a line, leave a comment, and we can work something out. But it's still £5 request. That's the deal, and you'll get a shout out. And just name the game to be shamed, and leave the rest to Judge Zeus. Also coming up is 3 random other shit game times for you to enjoy. Hope to see you back here next Friday. Please thumbs up this channel and subscribe if you haven't. That would be great. And again, please join me next week, next Friday, for another game, another edition of the Shit Game Type series. All the best, everyone. Take care. Zeus out of Shitsville.